back to Weird Wednesday. So, recently I've been seeing that pretty book covers are making a comeback on booktube, and I thought weird tales should get a feature in this. I have a lot of Weird Tales magazines favorites, so I'm gonna cheat, obviously. I'm gonna show you a few things that are maybe two from the same artist or Weird Tales adjacent. There are so many good covers. I think the artists for a lot of Weird Tales magazines deserve as much credit for making it weird and cool as the writers. And we're gonna learn, we're gonna grow, and we're gonna love this beautiful aesthetic experience together today. So, starting off strong, we're gonna talk about Lee Brown Coye. My favorite issue of his is the one with the pirate captain. And I talked about this at length. It got its own feature in a Weird Wednesday episode. I'm not taking these out of the plastic because it took me forever to put them in there. But I'm gonna put a bigger, more beautiful picture on the screen so you can see it up close. Lee Brown Coye does a lot of beautiful artwork, and I've made a whole feature on him based on the book Pulp Macabre, talking more about his biography and all of the covers he did for Weird Tales magazines, including some of the illustrations inside. So some artists do a much better job in the black and white or the darker kind of tones that show up better on the inside of the book rather than the cover of the magazine, right? And I think with Lee Brown Coye, you definitely see it popping more on the inside. But if I had to pick a favorite, I guess at number 10, I would put this piratey one. It's dark, it's mysterious, it's beautiful. Now at number 9, I am putting a Margaret Brundage cover. Now I have a few Margaret Brundage covers. Something to keep in mind is that Margaret Brundage designed the most Weird Tales covers. There is this amazing book about her called The Alluring Art of Margaret Brundage, Queen of the Pulp Pin-Up Art. Because she illustrated the most, I think it was like 66 or 67 covers, I think of her covers in a weird way in my head. They're kind of like the default Weird Tales magazine. And because of that, my hipster brain goes, well, you have to go off script and choose like something obscure and, you know, like on the side. And I guess in my head, the pinup seems kind of like the default. Now, she designed so many beautiful ones. I'm gonna put them on the screen right now. Now, the one in the corner with the Batgirl got adapted into a lot of book covers, like this Weird Tales anthology that got published later. And it makes it onto t-shirts and mugs and all these things, and it's a crowd favorite. And if you look at most of her artwork, there's a lot of kind of BDSM, like bondage style art with the pinups. It's extraordinary. And if I had to pick one, I think my personal favorite is this one. And I think it's just a little bit more bouncy or colorful in many ways, and it looks beautiful. This is from November of 1937. But if I had to pick a non-pinup, I would pick this one. It's kind of got, so it's from September of 1941. It's got this kind of Midsummer Night's Dream sort of, I don't know, dreamlike state. It's blue, it's got these little tiny dancing fairy people. It's a little bit dark and mysterious. She also, I noticed, has the same kind of male figure on a bunch of them that looks a lot like Rhett Butler from Gone with the Wind. I don't know if I'm imagining this, but I think maybe she got a lot inspired by, what's his name? Clark Gable. Now, coming in at number 8 for me is a Virgil Finlay cover, but I think this one's a bit more sentimental. So this is from September of 1952. And this was the very first Weird Tales that I ever got, and I got it from Chicago, from the Weird Tales booth. So had I known what would happen and how I would lose my mind along the way, I think I would have taken out all of my clothes from my suitcase and put all of my savings on the line and just cleared out the entire Weird Tales booth that day. But I didn't know, and I just took 2, and this was the first one I got because it had H.P. Lovecraft's name. It's just a little short kind of Halloween in a suburb poem, and the cover is very like weird aliens. And I think Virgil Finlay is another one of these artists, kind of like Lee Brown Coye, where his inside artwork is out of this world. It's you know, liminal spaces, aliens, cosmic, like beautiful. I'm like trying to pronounce every letter in the word beautiful because of how outstanding it is. There is a collector's book out there about Virgil Finlay's art, and it's really hard to find. I'm gonna have to go to the rare book library one day and flip through it for you because we need to take a look. I wanted to include at least one of his works in here because he's such a prolific artist. But this one is the one that's coolest. Coming in at number 7 is a work of art by Frank Kelly Freas. And he's designed a few. His style is very recognizable, but I really like this one. So this is the sort of bouncy aliens from November of 1951. I really enjoy his work, especially on The Martians Go Home. I've spoken about this in a previous video. I flipped through one of his artwork biography books at the library that has his little green alien on the cover, or the posters for it. So I'll link all of those things. Really love this cover. Now coming in at number 6 is this Dinosaur cover of Weird Tales from November of 1930. Now this is done by an artist whose name is C.C. Senf, or at least that's how it's usually listed, with 2 initials. This artist also did some really cool kind of botanical gothic, but this was kind of early and mid 20s and early 30s. So you get kind of the more old school Weird Tales vibes, and because it has a dinosaur on the cover, it got my attention, and I have been trying to track it down, but it's over $400 on a lot of websites, so I'm not gonna get it. But you know, it's digitized, I can read it, I'm really excited about it, but I do love the cover. I think it's beautifully designed, and it just kind of captures that dino plus pulp kind of togetherness. Coming in at number 5 for me, it's the January 1951 cover art by Charles A. Kennedy, and this is this one. Again, I'm gonna put a better cover on the screen. I like this one because the other ones always have something kind of otherworldly going on, and it's chaotic, or there's a lot happening. Where with this, you just kind of have one central figure. It's very Morticia Addams kind of. So I don't know, it speaks to the sort of difference, or it stands out among the others as being different. I really like it. And I got it from one of my favorite bookstores, who now tells me every time they get new Weird Tales, they message me on Instagram and say, Andrea, would you like some Weird Tales? Coming in at number 4 is this this one. Again, I had to get it. It's a little shiny, but I'll put it on the screen. I really like this man carrying a coffin. Nothing says Weird Tales more than this. And this is an artwork done by the very famous Weird Tale artist, A.R. Tilburne. Now, this is from September of 1944. He is also the artist known to have done a lot of these kind of Egypt-inspired ones. Again, I'll put it on the screen. There's at least 2 done by him that are very Egypt-y. He has a very particular style. And like most of the artists, he also has a lot of work inside the books, or the magazines, that are beautiful in the black and white. So definitely needed a shout out. But the reason I'm putting this is not just because of the coffin and the weird color combinations that just works. When I saw this, I immediately wanted to read it. Like, it works. I think if I was around when this came out, I would have bought it just for the sake of knowing what the story's about. Okay, then another magazine that I don't have, but I have read. So this is from May of 1942, and the artist is Ray Quigley. And it looks like this ship that is alive and sentient, and it's hugging a person. And when I saw a picture of this, again, I immediately wanted to read it, and I did. So there's a video somewhere of me talking about the featured story in this magazine. But the reason I read it was because of the cover. I wanted to know what happened. I wanted to know why the ship is alive. Now, it did surprise me that it was a bit of a World War II story. Did not see that coming. But it was really good. It was well told. I enjoyed it. And the cover is just really cool. I mean, you got a boat with like hands. It's number 2. I am not going to count, actually, but I want to mention it at number 2 because I am a bit confused as to whether or not this exists. I have seen one Instagram post somewhere of a person who looked like they had, you know, like the full-on magazine like this behind plastic. So it looked like a real magazine. And I got the t-shirt of it. So it's like Weird Tales. Now, what I know as a fun fact about Weird Tales is that H.P. Lovecraft's stories never got the feature on the cover of Weird Tales. Like, it was never the feature story illustrated in Lovecraft's lifetime. I think Shadows over Innsmouth got an American copy that's not too great. And then this was supposed to be, well, I'm just gonna put it on the screen, the Canadian edition. So this is from May of 1942. And I see this picture everywhere. And I think there's something hilarious about it. Like, you know, finally Lovecraft gets a cover after he dies. And it's of Innsmouth and the deep ones. I don't know. I just love it. I think it's so quirky and fun. And it captures like a layer of humor to it all somehow. Because I'm not 100% sure that this is a real cover, I'm just gonna put it as a maybe number 2 question mark. And another artist that I do kind of want to shout out, and I do really love this one. This is from May of 1950, and the artist is Boris Dolgov, and he's also very prominent inside the magazines. He gets a few covers as well. He's very creative. This one is very kind of medieval jester vibes. But it's also got this, you know, otherworldly magic thing going on. And I thought it was creative in terms of color and composition. I don't know. So I'm going to mention this one as well. So number 2 is a shared spot, as is number 1, of course, because I can't select just one. I've mentioned many times on this channel and on some other live streams that my favorite Weird Tales illustrator is Matt Fox. And my favorite cover is this one, which is him illustrating the Ormolu clock by August Derleth. You got these monstrous things at the top, this monster chasing a person, this very kind of sentient clock. I mean, it's beautiful in every way. But I think because I've been staring at it for so long, I got used to it maybe. And here's what I know. I love Matt Fox, okay? Love him. I have this one by him, this witchy one, this devil doing puppetry with humans one, the bag, the tote bag that I have here. I also have that illustrated one, which is spectacular. It's got this like monster creature. Like, his style is so cool, and it's got all these monsters and really cool things happening. And I recently found out that there's a book about him too, but it's really short. And some people digitized it, so I was able to kind of flip through it online. And it has a little bit of background on him as an artist, but only a few kind of features surrounding Weird Tales and then some of his other stuff. I will eventually track this down too, of course, because he's my favorite artist, I think. Like, the more I consider my favorite Weird Tales covers, every time Matt Fox comes out on top. And he also illustrates inside the magazines, and they're spectacular. I am hoping that in the future I will have a featured video on each one of these artists and more. So Weird Tales stuff is gonna go on forever here. But my favorite, number 1, Weird Tales magazine cover is this one. And it's done by Matt Fox, and it's illustrated the underbody by Alison V. Harding. While I don't have that one yet, I'm hoping to get it soon. I did get the Masters of Horror Volume 1, Alison V. Harding, The Forgotten Queen of Horror, 16 Terrifying Tales, and then they used as stand-in for the cover Matt Fox's illustration. And I'm glad to have it in this, and she's phenomenal. Like, I'll talk more about this author, potentially 2 authors, lots of question marks. One of the best Weird Tales author ever, but I'm happy that it has the cover. Now, those are all from Weird Tales directly, and from the original magazines and from the original artists. But I want to take a few moments to just talk to you about a few other things related. So first is another Virgil Finlay cover, and this is for a book that is called Worlds of Weird. While this book is very tiny, And it is an anthology, so it has a few short stories, including some that you would have seen in other anthologies, like Robert E. Howard, some of the highlights, right? The illustration, which I'm gonna put on the screen, it's so quirky and whimsical. You got this alien guy just holding a net of planets. I don't know, I love it. I think it's pretty cool. I mean, it's not officially a Weird Tales magazine, but it's got Weird Tales in it from Weird Tales magazines, so I count it. Last thing I'm going to tell you about is what I would consider one of my favorite book covers ever. And when I do the book cover, pretty cover tag, and I will, this will be among them because it's such a phenomenal book cover. So Stephen Jones edited a trilogy about stories that are retellings and in the same universe as Innsmouth, H.P. Lovecraft. And the soft covers look like this. They're fine. Not my favorite, okay? But when they came out in hardcover, the first volume and the second volume, so Shadows over Innsmouth and Weird Shadows over Innsmouth, came out looking like this. And I really like the Cthulhu traveling kind of thing. I don't know what it is about that makes it so funny. But the third one, which is Weirder Shadows over Innsmouth, has this cover. It is one of the greatest things I've ever seen. This was an immediate buy. I didn't even care how much it was, where it was coming from. I knew I had to have it. The other day I had a thought that if there's a fire, this is the book I'm saving. So I know that I care about this cover a lot. I also was able to track down the full painting of whatever this is. I don't know, I just think it's phenomenal. So yeah, this has got to be at the top. Now, technically, again, it's not officially Weird Tales because it's also got much newer authors. A lot of them are still alive. I mean, it's new, right? Now it says Dust Jacket Art, copyright by Les Edwards, 2013. Edwards, my guy. You're amazing. That said, do you have a favorite Weird Tales cover? I would really like to hear from you. Do you have a favorite artist? Let me know. I will talk to you soon, and I'll see you in a future video. Bye.